Welcome back to me, Sean, applying in Italy for Italian US dual citizenship via Iuris Sanguinis, Cittadinanza di Italia. And I recently got here a few days ago. I got my passport entry stamp at the airport, which allowed me to declare my presence. And now the thing that I needed to do was to basically let the local area know, the local town hall, the Comune, it's called, Comune, that I'm here, right? To do this process, the first part in letting them know that I'm here. And for me, because I'm being hosted at my girlfriend's dad's place, was to get a declaration of hospitality. Now, I'm not renting from someone that owns an apartment or whatever, which is what you need to do if you want to come to Italy. You either get hosted by someone in their home, or you have a lease and a rental contract. You cannot use an Airbnb, you cannot use a hotel. Now maybe if the owner of that property is willing to sign some forms for you, you might be able to do that. But this is the information on the next step for me in my Iuris Sanguinis process, which is to get a declaration of, I'm pulling it up on my computer for you guys, a Comunicazione di Ospitalità, or a Dichiarazione di Ospitalità, a declaration of hospitality. And here is the form. I'm going to go through it with you and show you how to fill it out with your host if you do have one. Now, sorry, this is going to be pretty raw, you guys. I just want to be able to share gradually as I'm going through this process so you can learn from it and go along with me versus just watch someone's whole recap video of the process, which can be confusing. So if you're not in this situation, first of all, before I get to the form, if you are renting, you have to have the owner of whoever you're renting from. If you're not being hosted and you're renting, you have to get the person who owns that property to inform the questura, which is kind of like the big town hall in a way. Like each little village and city has a comune or a town hall, but then let's say the major province or city, not the mini suburb villages, but like the more major city in that area will have a questura office, it's called. And they have the owner of the house or apartment that you're renting. They have 48 hours to inform the questura that their property is rented and occupied. And the questura will give them a certain document, Comunicazione di Cessione di Fabbricato. And you'll use that copy of that document when you deal with stuff down the line, when you establish your residency, which is a later step. Now, if you want to find that out, I'll put some links in the description if you want to figure that out. But if you're being hosted like I am, thankfully, which is a huge blessing, you got to fill out this declaration of hospitality. Now, in my situation, okay, I know it says everywhere that you have to have the owner, even if you're renting or you're being hosted like me, to let your comune or questura, bigger city hall thing, if you're renting, or just the comune, the local city town hall where you're going to do your process, the owner has to let them know within 48 hours and they have to fill out this form. Apparently, if the comunes are closed, like Saturday, Sunday, or holidays, for instance, which was my case, I flew in and got here on a holiday, Ferragosto, 15th of August. And so that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they were closed. So my host could not file this paper. So we went on Monday and they were like, hey, you have 48 hours to do this, but there was a holiday in the weekend, so you're fine. That's how my comune handled it. So if you come in on a weekend or something like that, that's okay. So now let's fill out this form so you guys can know what to do. Yeah. And if you have any questions you want to put in the comments, I'll go through them. I'm not going to answer every single one if I get bombarded, but I'll try to offer some help, and hopefully all these progress videos help you guys. So here's the document. I'll put a link to it that you can download it in case your Comune wants to give you issues and they say they don't have it and they can't get it. Well, it's going to be right here for you. You can download it. I got it. And this is where your host will put their info. They're going to put their name, their last name, their data di nascita, their birth, date of birth, their city or town where they were born, Comune di nascita, the provincia o nazione estera, the province or I'm not sure, the province where they were born, I think. Yeah, and then the city or the comune of their residenza, their residency, then the provincia, and then the street or the province, right? And then via o piazza, the street or square, and then numero civico. I think that means like, I don't know if that's like a postal number or just the number of the house on the street. I think that's what it is. And then they'll fill out the date in here. I have mine, but I don't want to show you guys that because I have some of my host's info, right? On the top one, they'll put the date in which they're filling this out. And you can put the final date when the hosting will end, or if it's someone you know, you can just put this, they can check this box. È a tempo indeterminato, indeterminato, like the end of the date that they're hosting you has not been determined yet. They check that guy. And then they will check alloggio, the person that's hosting you. My host did this, where they checked this box, the top one, ho fornito alloggio, ospitalità. I'm not really sure what the other one means. Immobile, you can use Google Translate, I'm sorry. And then you just put all your info in here. Your last name, your date of birth, the town in which you were born, city in which you were born, the province, so I put the state and then USA, and then citizenship, for me it was USA, and then my residency address, right in here. For me it was South Carolina. Put the whole address. My residence address is on my driver's license. And then type of document, tipo documento, passport, passaporto, your passport number, and then the date of when your passport was made or started or initiated, right? And then for me, the authority for my document, for my passport, is United States Department of State. That's what I put there. And then down here, you will put the name of the comune, the city that you're going to be doing this in, right? And then the province or the bigger city name goes right here. Your comune will know that, or your person that's hosting you should know this. The like abbreviation for the big city or the province where you're in, and then the street where the comune is, and oh no, this is still the street address. Dichiarazione viene, yeah, for the property. Excuse me, for the property, you put the address for the property again, where you're going to be staying, the street right here, and then the number, and then piano, interno, in case there's like an internal, I believe, apartment number maybe, and then the place where you're signing this and submitting it, and the date, and then the person who's filling this out for you, the host, has to sign there. Now, along with these things that you need to bring, along with this form, what you do is you fill it out with your host and bring it to the comune. Sometimes you got to make an appointment with them. Sometimes you can just walk in if it's smaller. If you're dealing with a smaller comune, smaller city, town, village, it's much more easy than like a big city like Rome, Florence, Naples. And when you go in, right, to the comune, you'll bring your host. You'll also bring a copy of a document of the host, one, a copy of your documents, right? Like for me, it was just a copy of I just brought my passport and they made a copy. The host brought their ID and the comune made a copy. And then a copy of the host's like title to the property or showing that they own the property, a deed, something like that, you know. And then I don't know what this last one is. We didn't really need anything like that. Il modulo deve essere spedito con raccomandata. I don't know what that last one means, but that's what you need to bring, that I had to bring. And so once you have that set up, the Dichiarazione di Ospitalità, the Declaration of Hospitality, and making sure you did that within the first 48 hours, then you can go ahead and go on to the next step, which I believe is to declare your residency, that you're actually going to be a resident there and be registered in that town. Now for me, I have all my documentation, the original Italian birth certificate of my great-grandfather, my birth, death, marriage certificates of everyone down the line, my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my mom's still alive, and then the document for me is just my birth certificate and my passport. I have all those documents, right? Except I don't have the translations. I'm actually going tomorrow to deliver the original documents in a place in Venice to have them do the translations here. It just didn't work based on when I finally got my final documents in the States and I already had the date to fly out here to Italy. It just was not going to work for me to get the translations done in the state, then send them to the consulate in the United States, or send them all out to get apostoled to a bunch of different states. So I'm getting them done here all in one go. A lot of people, or some people in my posts on Facebook have been like, oh, that's way expensive. Why'd you do that? Well, when I was calculating it, it's how much it costs to do it in the States and then to send them to your consulate, have them approve them, or send apostoles out to all different states, pay for the apostoles, pay for the postage. It's basically the same amount of money from what I'm seeing. And so I have to get the translations done, which should hopefully be done in about a week. We'll see. And those translations need to be approved by the Justice of the Peace or the one of the courts. My comune said that we can, if they're approved by the Justice of the Peace, I think it's, I don't even know how to say it, I'll look it up. But once that's done, I can show my documents to the it's called the Giudice di Pace, I think so. Once it's approved by them, then that's what you have to get the translations approved, or court, sworn in court, or approved by the Justice of the Peace. For my comune, said they'll do that. So once I have those documents, then I have all my documents ready. I've already declared my hospitality with this form that I showed you guys, that we went through, right? Then I can declare a residency. I don't think I need a codice fiscale, a tax code number, because I'm not renting from anyone, from what I understand. And then I can declare my residency with the comune with a dichiarazione di residenza and then I can get that process going where they come check where I live, that I'm actually living here. They put me in the system in the city or town, but that can only start once I go to the Comune with all my papers, show them, they briefly check them supposedly, and see, okay, he's really ready to do the process. He's able to declare his residency. Now I'll let him fill out this form that he's going to declare to be a resident in the town, because you can only declare to be a resident after you declared your presence in Italy with a passport stamp. You declared where you're living, if you're renting or being hosted. Then after you declare that you're going to be a resident here, then you can start, and you get checked that you're actually living here. They come by, the police checks your house. Then you can get an appointment to start the process and submit all your paperwork with the Comune. That's where I'm at. In the meantime, I've been improving my Italian. I've been trying to speak as much as I can with people, going out into the little village and town and practicing, going to get-togethers. I've been invited to a few of them already, which has been so much fun. And I've been so impressed with my growth of my Italian by studying with language transfer for the past 3 months, and now just trying to speak as much as I can, even if I seem weird and dumb, because it only helped me be better. And the pace in Italy is nice and slow. It's cool. And it's just a blessing to be here after 2 years. And I hope that I can help answer some questions so you guys can follow along and see what it really takes in the process to get this done. And for those wondering, I got my Declaration of Hospitality done 3 days after getting here. So yeah, August 18th on Monday. And yeah, it's a great blessing to be here, and I hope that some of this can help you guys out. If you're looking to do this process in Italy, instead of waiting for an appointment at the consulate in the United States, which I'm guessing many of you are American who are watching this. For those of you watching somewhere else in the world, I don't know the process over there, but if you want to do it in Italy, you can follow along, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.